Good evening and welcome to Sunday Knowing Who You Are.
Sunday Livestream.
Sunday Livestream. Clack again.
Okay.
Good evening and
Okay, welcome everyone to the Sunday Livestream of Knowing Who You Are. Everyone hopefully is having a great day so far. I don't know what happened to my voice today. I mean, whatever I'm trying to say, I feel it's a bit croaky.
You've been singing quite a lot recently.
Oh, well, I don't know. Have I?
Yeah.
I should be singing more.
Okay.
Okay.
You should be singing more. You're not singing enough.
I'm not singing enough. So, people who are watching or joining slowly, welcome to the Sunday live stream of Knowing Who You Are. And you might be thinking, if you're new to the podcast, what is this? This Knowing Who You Are. I know myself. Why these two people are saying you have to know yourself. Well, Knowing Who You Are is a podcast platform, but we have a channel on YouTube. And then the podcast is available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music. And you can have a listen to it, since I do a lot of interviews with people who are experts in their field, be it mental health, mental fitness, and a lot of tips and tricks or hacks, you can say, in terms of being more productive, which works for your self-improvement, personal growth. And recently for the season 2, you might have seen I haven't put up some new interviews as yet because I'm waiting for a new season, at the moment we are doing those. So there'll be more focus on the fitness side of things, physical fitness. So we have talked about mental health quite a lot, which we would carry on doing it. But I think physical fitness is one of the important things, and many people are struggling with it. So we should talk about it. And that's the plan. So very soon you'll see those, and they're in the pipeline. And over to you.
Well, and the other reason why Knowing Who You Are is something that we decided to do is because we were talking about when you're in trouble or when you're not sure what to do, like, who do you ask? You ask people that you trust. You ask family, you ask friends, you ask people who've experienced it perhaps before. Maybe you're looking at podcasts of people that have experienced the kind of thing you're running into. And while we are happy that we haven't experienced everything that can possibly go wrong, we've crossed paths with people who have. And more importantly, we've also crossed paths with people who've survived, come through, and done well as a result of their actions. And so we thought, well, why not create a platform for people who have experiences? Because in the end of the day, really the person who you can trust is the person who's been through it and who's come out the other end shining, and or someone who's helped another come through such a situation. So it's very broad, and I love the fact that we're doing the physical health of it right now, because we've put a lot of attention on mental health, and while, like he said, that definitely isn't going to stop the physical aspect, if you don't sleep enough or you don't exercise enough, that can become a real burden on your mental health as well.
So nice. I was like, okay, she has taken a
You
lot
didn't think
of
I was actually prepared to speak, which I'm always prepared.
Yeah, well, all the people who are joining now, Neha, hello, Selena,
hi,
hello.
Selena, hi, Neha.
And there are other people as well.
Yeah,
Which
hello,
so everyone, please let yourself known. And after Esther's lovely introduction, which really helped.
Thank you.
Because I'm
not just here for the entertainment and to make him look good.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
What happened? What did you eat last night?
It was actually one of your dishes that you cooked. What did you put in it is the question.
Okay. Yeah, I see somebody's changed, totally reformed. No, you're doing great.
Thank you.
And it helps me, especially when I said that my voice feels a bit weaker today. I don't know why. So people who are...
I got you.
Okay.
I got you covered.
Wow. I'm looking at it. So everyone who's there, Selena, Neha, Anuradha is there too, as I can see now. Today my mental health is so poor due to Lata Mangeshkar's sudden demise.
Yeah,
I need to watch this show today. Oh,
well,
wow.
Thank you.
No pressure,
for
right?
in. No,
we have
no
to
pressure.
make her smile.
That's okay.
Make her feel bad.
Pretend
make
that
her feel good.
Pretend that you're in our living room and you're having a deshi chai with us. And that everything is going to be all right in the end, because it will be. But it's true, it is a huge loss. Huge loss.
Very interestingly, I was about to discuss something like that today. There are a lot of things because last week after the show ended, because Selena started talking about a few things and she shared a few pages from a book. But before that, I would like to share something with you. You might find, Anuradha and Shingara.
Oh, yes. Yes. I wish Shingara. Sorry.
Yeah, with chai.
With chai. Oh, yes.
And Selena said, I will try to be vocal, just making not one, not two, not three, but 4 chickens. Bok bok.
Bok.
Okay. Bok bok, I mean, it's a Bangladeshi term.
Yeah.
When you're being garrulous or talkative, so it's bok bok.
Oh, bok bok?
Yeah.
Like yap yap?
Yeah, yap.
Oh,
It's
that's
more
funny.
like that.
That's funny.
So I have
Selena
something.
should start her own bok bok department.
Yeah. I mean, especially I was thinking about talking about detachment and letting go. Because there are a lot of pressure we feel normally, not because these days on social media,
Yeah.
because there had been a news in Bangladesh, people, if you have followed it, there's an elderly gentleman at the age of 60 or 65. He came on Facebook and committed suicide live. He killed himself with his own gun. So this is more depressive and out of depression. I understand he had cancer, he was lonely, but there's a young guy, a music producer recently on Facebook as well. I saw the status today. It's fresh, and he's a young guy, very successful music producer, and he's saying that he has this sudden attack of panic attacks, anxiety, and depression as well. He said, everyone pray for me. Wow. So why are these things happening so much? Because I was doing this research about these things and how we can. It's really hard talking about my own situation every now and then. Because I feel like throughout the day, most of the time, trust me, I know about these things, I talk about these things, but also I feel that throughout the day, the moment I get up from bed and until the time I go to bed, it has to be filled up with things. I mean, with things that you have to keep on doing things all the time. And I know that it's not a good practice and it shouldn't be like this. You should have a routine. You start your things, finish by a particular time, and then keep the time to do the things that you want to do. Say, even if you watch something on TV, if you just sit there and talk to your friends and spend time with your partner, which we do anyways, I mean, no matter what. But without any pressure that, okay, my time's running out, I have to get back, I have to finish those things. And normally I find myself doing things till 11, 10:30, 11, 11:30, midnight. I'm here. I'm working and she's working in the other room. And we decide in the evening, okay, so what time we are calling it a night? And that's how we go on. In the meantime, there are a lot of messages. I'll get back to the topic. I have to share some of the pages that Selena shared from a book we discussed or she recommended last week. So I'll share the pages. And also, I promise that I'll share some of the performances of the poetry night that I performed in. So I have those videos, some of the videos. So I'll be sharing with you.
Nice.
Okay, now.
That's good because I have a poem too from my niece that I want to read out tonight.
I'm very impressed. She's what age?
She's 10 years.
She's 10 and
10 years
she's
old.
very mature.
Unbelievable.
Lovely writing. Okay, I meant the sound of chickens. Okay, she didn't say bok bok.
Bok bok, clock clock.
No,
Yeah.
in that case, that's clack clack, right?
Clack clack?
Huh?
Well, don't ask me. I'm not from Bangladesh.
Okay, no, I'm talking about English.
In Dutch, it's tok tok.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is what we were talking about. Okay, let me first read the messages because it's growing. It's just passing me by. Okay,
We're having a
where's
whole
that?
conversation
Detachment
on what
and
sound
letting
does a
go.
chicken
Yay! Selena said detachment and letting go. Yeah, that's very important because, okay, I'll start the topic. Let me finish the
In
comments
English, it's
first.
cluck. Cluck,
Yeah,
cluck.
cluck. Yeah. Replying to Selena, it's cluck cluck for chicken sound. Exactly. I agree. There should be times to just chill, but some people are super productive. True. And it's not really healthy. And sometimes I really feel that, oh my God, the whole world is passing me by and I feel I'm too much under pressure because I feel I have to do more. And that's not the right way. So don't follow that.
Which, by the way, you put the pressure on yourself. There's no one else here.
Yeah.
I'll do the exact opposite. Come on, let's sit down.
She's
a
the
bit longer.
distraction.
I am, 100%.
And every time I say, okay, I have to get back to the studio, she'll find an excuse to keep me there for another 10 minutes. So, replying to Selena, Anuradha Nandi, I say bok bok lol, maybe it's in Bangla. In English, it's cluck, haha. Okay, but bok bok for everyone, since all the Bangladeshis I see or people who speak Bangla,
Everyone likes it.
I like the word bok bok. Well, bok bok,
I thought it
Selena,
was Chinese.
if you didn't
Bok
know,
bok.
yeah, bok bok. No, bok is another thing. It's bok. It's how should I say, pelican? That
Wow.
would be, and also, but bok bok. When we say someone is talking too much, like when I keep on talking without any pause, it's bok bok.
Okay.
But probably, I hope I have some substance in it. Okay, detachment.
Yes.
We'll get back to the topic of detachment, but before that, it's an interesting statistics I found. How you get detached, because in the business world, especially when you're meeting, when you pitch an idea, you'll find that 10% of the people would. I mean, normally it happens in the real world as well. When you talk about your ideas, 10% of the people, it's a research that's found, that they'll completely hate it. And 80% of the people will be totally indifferent. They don't care. They said, okay, Ershad, you have a good idea, whatever. But then 10% of out of the 100%, they'll just like it. So 90% is totally not even really, they don't care about your idea, your novel idea, or you think that idea is really cool, and they're not really worried about it. So how are you going to deal with that? So that's how the detachment comes, and that's what happens in real life as well. That's what we face. Yeah.
When you say detachment, you mean like just not caring about people's opinion? Because obviously, when you pitch an idea in a sales, it's kind of important that that people care what you're thinking, because the whole point is that they take it on board. But you mean more like if someone criticizes you?
No,
just
I mean,
don't
even
care.
when you're pitching, it's a sales pitch. Sometimes during a meeting, people will be like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I know about this.
Yeah.
There are better ideas I've known about, or I have better ideas than that.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Interesting.
So,
By the way, he never tells me before the show what the subject is or what the research is, so I can give fresh input or not at all if I'm not.
yeah. I mean, you
That's
can
why I'm
join
acting surprised, not because it's an act or anything. I don't actually know what he talks about before we
because
start.
I want to keep the surprise.
Keep a surprise.
Yeah.
And I get it live on camera.
So, everyone here who's joining, because we all suffer from it now, I feel, and especially everyone, if you look around, we feel the urge that we have to do something to get some attention, right? So even you can ask the question, okay, Ershad, then why do you post things on Facebook? Why do you post things on Instagram or TikTok? If you look at it, normally how I try to do that, there's two ways. It's an interesting thing. And even you probably, because Anuradha would know about this, it's an interesting philosophical book. I look at it, Gita, Bhagavad Gita. There's a concept about renunciation, like when you are giving up without the hope of any reward. So mostly anything I'm posting on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, you'll see it's not about me or us. There's an added element. There's some, probably, it's an atmosphere. It's a place we have been to, but when you look at it, you feel better. And also, there's a video I might post, but there's a message. There's the description. It's almost like a blog. So I want to put across some message, because problem is that nowadays our attention span is so short. If I write something like this big, you won't read that. So if you have a video to it, and if I put the message on the video, then you look at it. So that's the idea. So I'm just putting it out without any hope of any reward, gaining my followers or gaining how many likes. It doesn't matter. So the idea is people liking or hating it. It's not the main idea. So that's part of detachment. So it's the idea of letting go, because we are so worried about looking perfect in every way possible, and sometimes everyone who's coming on social media and posting something for you to watch or like or love or care, they only post the good side of things. But how many times no one comes and share? But that's why I appreciate that guy, that producer, successful producer, who came and said, literally he's vulnerable, he's anxious, and he's asking for everyone to pray for him. So that's one of the things. Many of his competitors may be happy. They're like, okay, he's not going through a good time, so that's good for me, because I'm another producer and he was stealing my job, so I can get his now because he's not feeling good. So they're both sides of the coin. So in the meantime, Anuradha, yeah, I love Gita, very spiritual and philosophical. It teaches how to continue your journey even though you don't have the strength to do it, how to detach yourself from pain, exactly. Proper book for mental health management, true.
Nice.
And it's that conversation between when Arjun, I mean, one of the characters there, he was in the warfield and the struggles he was going through mentally. Like, how am I going to fight against those people? They're part of my family. Some of them are friends. And how he was talking to Lord Krishna in that book. So he was telling him what to do. So
Right.
that's the whole book. It's a
Wow.
philosophical
Nice.
conversation. Amazing.
Nice.
It's almost like Socrates and Aristotle are talking.
Wow, interesting.
Your postings are motivating and encouraging. Oh,
Nice.
that's really
Thank you,
nice.
Neha.
Yeah.
They are. I agree. I agree.
So, going back to the topic, how many people would like to see the poetry night? Let's start that. So, I have small clips from there so you can see the environment, people who haven't seen the post yet. So, I'll do that. So, I'll just shut the camera for a while so I don't interrupt. You can still hear my voice. There you go.
Close your eyes for a moment. To cherish the feelings of despair without laying a finger. Gently rest your mind on the hues of our sorrows when a teardrop trickles. And wait until you hear it fall in the hushed confusion of the lost translation. Wait until you hear the magic spell that hides the secret of opening the curious box. When we learn and unlearn emotions in mnemonic languages, semantics displaced by the time zone of grammars flying through the clouds of momentary structures, emerging as another person on the other side, it marks me out. Can't hide behind any camouflage. The renewed world of my adopted thoughts seeks refuge in the rhythm of life and the insufferable patience for dissonance until the puzzle shapes into the melody of my new tune. Thank you.
You must remember the numbers by heart. Muistan numerot ulkoa. You must remember to scale the fruits. You must look to the right and look to the left. You must ask for directions and say, I don't know.
Balancing cultures can be a struggle. Sometimes it can make me feel a bit buggle. The simple question, where are you from? I'm from England, born and bred. Really? Why isn't your name Jane, Janet or Fred? Where are you really from is a follow-up request. I thought I just said, but my parents are from Bangladesh. Oh, that explains your character. Please excuse me while I stopped to muse. Made me notice my skin wasn't white. Or why would they need to clarify my heritage site?
So nice. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's very.
I felt like
it's
I was right there again.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What
It was
an
a great evening.
Amazing.
Very stimulating
Yeah.
intellectually. And yeah, so as we discussed that, we'll share those things. And also now over to the idea of, because in the last couple of weeks, we've been discussing about how people sometimes, because of the external pressures, we lose ourselves. And we were talking about core values the other day, and I mean last week. And because we know the interesting question, reading from the page that Selena shared, I'd like to put it there. So as you can see, the line she marked, she said,
We spend our whole lives trying to meet targets set by someone else. In love, that means people search for what's outside of them, a romantic partner, and lose sight of what's inside them, a potential for self-development and understanding.
that's so true, that how we get influenced over time. It's very important. So to have people in our lives who would let us grow. Because sometimes, and especially nowadays in the time of social media especially, So Instagram, how many likes you have, you're counting. If you don't have more likes, then you feel like, oh my God, people are not liking it. What am I going to do? I have to post something else that people would like. And anywhere, and attention span wise, which is, I was surprised to hear that today. Average student now, they have a attention span for any particular task. They can have their attention on it for only 65 seconds.
Oh my God.
Only 65 seconds. And if you do an average, it's 19 seconds.
Wow.
So after that, you lose it.
Wow.
And for office work, it's 3 minutes.
Wow.
So it's very interesting that we have come to this point. So the culture is like, okay, we see something, okay, move on to the other one. So we don't even have the time to appreciate. So if we take things personally, so this is where we are coming to the idea of detachment or letting go. So people are, the attention span is as such, then you can't expect people to dwell on whatever you have posted and think about it, write your comment. People who do that, who engage in it, really nice because it resonated with them. But if they don't mind, and don't take it personally. That's the main thing. So how many of you probably have been through these situations when you slowly found yourself that your external pressures and external validations are kind of influencing your own identity to a certain extent, and you feel like, to be honest with you, let me share this thing. Probably 5-6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, there was a time when I would think, oh, what shoes I should wear. If I wear this color, what they would think. And people might think, okay, I'm a lawyer. Should I dress like this? I'm a musician. Should I dress like this? So this dichotomy of this identity crisis, or so to speak. And even in Bangladesh, when you're going, you take certain kind of clothing because you're not supposed to wear. If you wear shorts, I mean, one of my parents once said, you're a lawyer, you shouldn't be wearing shorts. So these are interesting things. When you think too much about what other people are thinking, you slowly lose yourself, you lose your comfort, you lose what makes you feel happy and be at ease with yourself. And I have learned, to be honest with you, to go with the variety now. There's so many things to do. Like this lady over here, she likes pink. So whenever I do shopping for her, I go for the pink one first. And we have a lot of pink things in our household. Yeah. And I don't care about wearing certain colors anymore. I'm like, okay, wear a pink shirt, or sometimes even like a colorful, we lost the caller. Someone tried to call. So things like that, I've learned over the years how to let go, detach.
I got you to wear Doc Martens. Yeah. You're wearing aubergine colored Doc Martens now.
Yeah, true. Aubergine?
Yeah.
You sure?
It's like a dark ox blood red. Ox blood
so
patterned
the thing is, like now I have more freedom. I have more variety. I can try a lot of interesting things. So that's the idea. Okay, Bhabhi, I love
Bhabhi,
pink
I love
too.
pink too.
That's Shifat. Welcome to the club.
Hi Shifat, good to see you.
And Selena said, those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter.
It's true. Yeah. I've always had, because I guess it was mostly because of my work, and because I worked with so many different religious groups, charity groups, different communities. My first and foremost decision on dress code was always, what will be respectful towards this group? And it actually allowed me to research, what do they wear? What are their habits? What are their rituals? What do you do? What don't you do? In some cultures, it is acceptable that a woman goes through the door first. In some cultures, it's not. Like, there's all these little things. Some places you shake hands, some you don't. And I made a point of always researching that. And I felt that always set me up to it was a mark of respect. But when it comes to my own day off, I mean, I won't go in full pink all over, but I'll have something crazy in there. I like having something crazy as part of my general outfit.
If that's part of your identity, you can relate to that.
I am. And
why would you lose that?
Could care less. Like the other day, we had a special event in the place where I worked, and I wear. Well, I think most of you saw the post probably, where I thought, well, All-Star Converse. Well, I've got different ones. I wore a red one and a blue one.
Yeah.
And people were stopping in the streets.
And
I
initially, when
forgot.
I saw that, I asked her, are you really going to do that? And she said, yes. I said, well, who cares? If the person who's wearing it, she's happy, who am I to say
care.
whether she's going to do that?
Yeah.
I might just turn up and say, "Oh, I don't know her." I'm joking.
There was only one problem.
Yeah.
One was a bit more worn than the other one, so I was not slightly even.
Okay. No, but the thing is, that's why I posted that
Yeah.
to show that when you have the courage to be yourself, and like Selena said, those who matter don't mind.
Yeah.
So, like, you care what I feel like. If I had said, if I put doubt in your mind, it would have mattered. It would have mattered.
Yeah.
And it would have felt, oh, shall I do that because he's saying so?
Yeah.
And most of the time when we are going out, we ask each other, hey, I'm wearing this one. And she said, yeah. And or sometimes she helps me or I help you as well.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly we figure out what you wear, and then I'll fit my outfit to match yours.
Yeah.
It's normally how it goes.
But mostly it's about...
it's a team thing.
It's a
though.
team effort.
Yeah.
But since we know each other, we know what makes each other happy. And it's rather than not trying to stifling each other, because it was interesting. We watched it's an episode drama, right? It's a series, A Suitable Boy. So it's by Vikram Seth.
Oh,
you
beautiful.
probably, many of you
Beautiful.
have known about this one, or you have read that book probably. Selena might raise her hand because she's a big reader.
She's like, yes,
Yeah,
me.
so but it came out back in the 1993, so
Yeah.
it is quite an old book, and
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've read that when I was in college, but it was a pleasant surprise to find that on Netflix, and I watched it. Such a well-made series by Mira Nair, and on that there was a character, Lata. So she had all these suitors, and everyone, whoever gets to see her, she's so courageous, smart, intelligent. They fall in love with her. Okay, we have a
Ooh,
caller
we
without
have
the number.
caller.
Interesting. I should put up the number probably.
Yes. Hello, caller.
All these suitors and everyone,
Hello.
whoever gets to see
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Courageous, smart.
Would you like
Hi,
to?
how are you? I just.
Would you like to turn off your live because you're going to be slightly lagging?
Sorry?
Could you turn off the sound of your live because we're slightly behind? You get confused.
1 minute. Just 1 minute, yeah?
There we
Yeah,
go. Yes.
it's perfect.
No problem.
Would you like to turn off your live because you're going to be slightly lagging?
Here we go.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Oh,
Oh, we lost him.
reconnecting. Do you know him?
Okay, I don't know. So what you can do, you can call us directly on the phone, since you're calling from London, as I can see, you're in England. So you can call us directly on that number. You don't have to even dial. Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I can get you now.
Here we
Okay.
go. Thank you very much. How are you tonight? And first of all, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm from London. So my name is Yatin Kumar Dinesh.
Oh, Yatin.
So basically, I'm the friend of the Suhana.
All
Oh,
right.
great.
So we met in the Chicago. I meet in Chicago in Suhana. So this is very good. My good friend as well.
Nice.
So she told me to I join your live.
Oh, Yatin, thank you. Thank you.
She was last week show me his video, so they sent me. She's seen the interview.
Nice.
That's why.
Yatin, are you in Slough?
No, I'm living in the Greenford.
Okay, you're living in Greenford. So, yeah, because
Yeah.
Suhana shared with me, I mean, you have a restaurant, right? Hello? We lost him probably again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a...
Okay, so the thing is, Suhana, one of our regular callers as well, and she mentioned about a friend who has a restaurant in Slough. I'm just guessing if it's Yatin, because she said that whenever you want to go there, let him know first. So things like that. So I probably it's Yatin. So
Okay.
Yatin, what I was
yeah, we
asking,
can-
Yatin, you're in Slough? Oh no, you have a restaurant in Slough.
No, I'm not living in Slough. I'm living in Greenford.
Greenford, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's because Suhana told me about a friend, she said, who has a restaurant in Slough. So I was
Yeah.
thinking probably it's you.
No, I'm not.
Okay,
This
okay.
is great.
But
It's
nice.
great you're
It
calling in.
Yeah.
So tell us your
It's
story.
always a treat anyway.
My story is very long, so maybe your show maybe whole. I finished all it now. I just tell you short and sweet.
Mhm.
Right now I'm got the married. I have got a beautiful wife.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
Nice.
before my married, I was so many struggling with the love life problem, the breakup, everything. So that's a problem. Then I always, I always lose my hope. So one day I also like the singing as well. So same thing, and I was in Chicago in the singing and the fashion. So I was the fashion category was the first runner up. So same
Wow.
Wow.
same me and Suhana, yeah. So that time Suhana gave me some tips about fashion walking, that's how you need the attitude, everything. So she told me about. So then I did, and I got first runner up.
Mm.
that
Great.
time.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That's awesome. So
So,
this is really good. So
yeah.
you found your wonderful wife, and since this time you have a stable relationship, which is great.
How did you deal with the struggles that you say that you had some struggles before?
Yeah, because was so many problems coming in my life. I'm trying to find someone. Like I get married. So not before I'm like very क्या बोलते हैं जल्दी मुझे करनी है शादी करनी है
Mm-hmm.
so that time I was then I take patient.
Good.
So one of friend, he's living in India before, and he's now already here.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a keyboard player. So he gave me the suggestion when I'm in India. Yeah, so I told about. So I was break up, and then I said, you need to go to music little bit to it.
Mm.
So I chose the music, and it was in India. They have one of the show called the Voice of Div. So I was tried singing. Then it's my first show. So I sing with the people like 10,000 people. And
Wow.
Wow.
Amazing.
open theater.
Wow.
So then he teach me so many songs and
That's your baby, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
in the car. So that's why.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That's sweet.
So he saw me the way I'm singing, and then I reached in the top 10. I'm not winner, but I at least I reached
Wow.
68 contestants, and then I passed top 10.
That's
Oh, wow.
amazing.
Yatin, I'm tempted to interrupt you to
Yeah.
hear some of you, just if you can sing something for us.
Yes, please.
Yes, of course. Which
Please.
one you like? Anyone?
Yeah, anything that you
That
feel
you
like singing
anything
now.
you like to dedicate to the show.
Okay, so I have one of my good songs. हाँ हंसी बन गए हाँ नमी बन गए तुम मेरे आसमां मेरी ज़मीं बन गए हो तेरे ना तेरे ना मिले हो तुम हमको बड़े नसीबों से चुराया है मैंने किस्मत की लकीरों से मिले हो तुम हमको बड़े नसीबों से चुराया है मैंने किस्मत की लकीरों से.
Wow.
Wow, thank you. Woo, we are clapping, but we're going to blow out the mic, so we're clapping very quietly.
Thank you so much. No worries. Thank you so much.
And
That's
our
great.
regards to your, is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
Okay,
Nice.
what's his name?
It's a Dian.
Dian. Okay, our
great.
regards to Dian and lots of love. And
Yes.
thanks for calling us, Yatin.
Yes.
It was really
Yeah.
lovely talking to you. So hopefully we'll
Yeah,
catch up again because every Sunday we do the
I
show.
thanks to you guys, and I thank you special Suhana. So Sticky suggest to me to
Oh.
join your live.
No, it's
Thank
really
you,
good.
Yatin. And it's good to
She's
find
very-
you here.
she's
You
very-
live in
she's very
London.
nice. She's
Yeah.
a very humble person.
She is
So,
wonderful. And thank you for sharing your story because we can see that you took a big creative path, and that's an extremely, extremely good
That's a
thing to
big
have done.
message.
Yeah, it's a good message. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you much.
All
Bye
right,
Bye.
bye-bye.
bye.
It's a really useful thing what Yatin mentioned. Two things. He was rushed to find someone. And most of the time, this is one of the problems. Most people we meet around us, we see every day, even we had been through it ourselves probably, we feel like, oh my God, time's running out. We have to find someone. And that creates a lot of anxiety. And that creates, it paves the way of making a lot of mistakes along the way.
Yeah.
So unless you have been through a few, then you realize that's not the way. But he said, how did he find the solution? He found the solution through creativity and trying to distract himself through something productive. He kept on turning up for competitions, and he ended up being in the top 10.
It's great.
And at least he's there. He called us. He sang. He sounds happy. He has
He's
his
got a
boy.
wife and a beautiful son in the car.
It's
so
so
great.
beautiful. Such a lovely story.
Awesome.
So I would like to, on that note, like how we tend to feel rushed that we have to find someone. And once we have found someone, what happens? I'd like to share probably another of Selena's pages.
Should I read it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd place the emphasis on self-understanding too, and the capacity to communicate it. If somebody says, I don't adore myself, but I'm interested in myself, and I can communicate the truth about myself to other people, that will be more reassuring than somebody who said, I am perfect. Acknowledging your brokenness, pain, and insufficiency is a rather romantic thing to do. Actually, an over-empathic self-admiration cuts you off from other people, whereas an engagement with your own vulnerability is key to building a bond. And later it says, and so your less impressive side don't cut you off from the possibility of having a good relationship. They don't mean that you're a terrible person who doesn't deserve love. They just mean you are part of the human family.
Beautiful.
I love that.
This is the part that you're part of the human family, and most of the time, again, we are coming back, we are tying all these things, segueing into detachment and letting go, because letting go also, it's about, I have to be perfect. But the thing is that when you embrace yourself, how you are, there's some imperfections, there's some shortcomings in you, there's some things you can't change.
Yeah.
And the moment you accept it, people start loving you because you're being true, you're being honest.
Yeah.
So that's one way of making friends as well. People who are always the perfect one, you'll find at some point they annoy you. So because that's not true. You know that clearly. We are all humans. There's no one in the world who's completely perfect. Everyone has some kind of shortcoming, some kind of thing that they're not happy about themselves, or they know about, or sometimes they don't know. When they don't know about their shortcomings, it's a risky business.
Yeah.
Because then you can be totally arrogant. It's called Dunning-Kruger effect. I'll talk about it later on, where you are not aware that you don't know about something, and you feel that whatever you know, that's the right judgment about the whole thing, and you really are not eager to learn the right or know the right answer about the thing that you know that you're so sure of. Okay, can be a jerk.
Neha, do you mean I can be a jerk, you can be a jerk, anyone specific?
No, but I think what she's trying to say, that the moment you end up thinking that you're the perfect one, and all the time your world is around you being perfect and quite egotistic manner, then problem is that you end up being a jerk, and people don't end up being in your company.
Yeah,
because everyone knows, say for example, I know I have some shortcomings, and I'm sitting next to someone. He's like, oh my God, my life is so great. I'm so happy. Everything is there. And I have this perfect wife, perfect kid. And I have this big business. I have this lovely house, this lovely car. All the time you see these things. I mean, that's what happens when you go on social media. Tell me, honestly, everyone, when you see something nice being posted on social media sometimes, and you know that person, you're like, oh, when did it happen? How did she do that? How did he do that? Okay, what am I doing? But the thing is that I see interesting code. I came the other day. It's like, don't compare your beginning with someone's middle, and don't compare your middle with someone's ending or someone's finality. So wherever they are, they have worked for it. And you started from a certain place, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And that person is where he or she is supposed to be. So comparison is a killer. And that's what happens on social media a lot too.
Unless, of course, you have situations where which we've also seen and we ourselves use, is when you have a situation in life which is great, because you can have a great wife and a great kid and a good job. But you'll find that the people who genuinely have gotten themselves in that place want others to have that too.
Exactly.
And they're one, they'll talk about it because, like, look, you can do this too. You can be this kind of person, because there's many people who are
They
happy.
just don't do the bok all the time.
But you can feel the whole flow of communication is different.
Yeah.
It's like, like, I've got this thing, I've got this new thing. Like there's this couple that I won't mention the name, but, he's a manager. She's her own self-made businesswoman, and they're a wonderful couple. They have a great son. They always post these wonderful pictures of adventures, the latest thing that they've doing. But I also happen to know that they both work super hard. So you see this and you see, oh, wow, they've gone to blah, or they've gone to here. And you can actually see them just enjoying life, which is fabulous, Yeah,
anyway. One practice is that trying to be happy with someone else's success, because we all have something good going on in our lives.
Yeah.
We just forget, because the moment you compare, because their happiness, you compare, okay, they're happy because they have that. Then you forget you should be happy because you have something which probably they don't have or other people don't have.
Sure, yeah.
And then because you totally overlook or don't have the oversight of the good things you have in your life, then you end up missing out and you end up being sad or depressed because you think, oh my God, they have got this new car, say for example, lovely shiny car, very expensive Tesla or whatever. And then you think, oh, I'm just driving a Toyota or whatever you're driving. Or probably you don't even have a car. But then you're mistaking your happiness with their happiness, because they're happy because that's what they needed. Probably you don't need that. You have something better. It's not about the car. You have something better in your life. And you forgot to be happy or smile about the things you have. So it's better to count your blessings first.
True.
And rather than comparing. So does it happen to you ever, like in social media, you see something and you feel that anguish? Does it happen?
I used to in the very beginning when I created my own business, and I was an up and coming artist and a photographer, and I was constantly looking at what other people were posting, their work and the money they were making. And then you get, obviously, the moment the algorithms pick up that you're an artist, suddenly you get bombarded with, you can sell your art for £4 million. I'm like, I just got £50 for a consignment. That really sucks. And I sort of suddenly realized I'm not good enough, and then, of course, now the algorithms pick up that you should be part of 10,000 lessons. So now you get all these advertisements about lessons. And shortly I felt like I'm nowhere near anything that I should be. Then you have the let's do a workshop. And then you have, yay, Magic Monday, I've sold mine. And here's 10,000 artists who are all doing great. You suck. Like, it was just, oh my God. And it was just, I turned all of it off. And I just decided I'm posting my art with a message, because I realized in the end my purpose with art was never to make money. Because I think if you create something for the purpose of making money, of course you need money, you need to pay the bills, you need to survive, but not for them, I'm going to be famous or a millionaire. My whole idea was always, I want to communicate a message through my art. And if that means that I put pictures on there from, close-ups, that I lied in the snow for an hour to get this shot, and I can share that with the world with a nice quote, great. And then sometimes I get 3 likes, sometimes I get 50 likes, sometimes I get suddenly 10 more followers. But I actually stopped looking at that.
No, that's the idea about
and
that same
wonderful.
code. You have compared probably your beginning with someone's middle.
Yeah, exactly. And this person was already there, or maybe they're not even existing and it's all a lie. But it's a person who 10 years ago was struggling with becoming a new artist, and I figured, well, I just need to do the usual, which is I learn, I improve my skill. Now I know graphic design, now I know everything else, and good. So now I can edit this, now I can add music to that, and I cease to compare myself. I just look at other people so I can learn, not because I want to see,
It's important. I mean, I would suggest everyone, you can write about this. How many of you are planning something that you're not doing at this time? And let me know. what you're planning.
Okay, so
At
while
the
you're
moment-
thinking about this, I'm going to read here what Selena just said, because it connects with what we're talking about. Sorry if I cut you off. This connects nicely with Natasha Lunn, who I went to see the other day. She was so honestly talking. It was so humane. She looked at her friend's baby. I think she was going through miscarriage, wanting a baby, and felt physically sick. This can be shocking to some, but her friend eventually read it, and their relationship became even closer and more honest. It makes you realize what people are really thinking. Very true. So you have someone else who goes through a tough time, you recognize it, and, you know, on the outlook, it may seem to do fantastic. They may not actually do
No,
that great.
everyone has different things going on back of their mind, and something in their life needs to be sorted out, and they need to attend to it, but they can't at the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the question was,
Yeah.
I was asking everyone
Sorry.
who's watching it, everyone who's present or commenting on it now, can you share that the things you're feeling like, okay, I'm going to do that. I'll end up doing it probably next year. It's this not yet mentality. That's another killer as well. The main idea is to whatever you feel like. Say, for example, when I planned about the Knowing Who You're blog, the domain I bought 3 years ago, it sat there for 2 years, and I kept on paying money for it. And I thought, okay, I'm going to write. Okay,
You didn't even know me at the time.
Yeah, I didn't know you at the time.
We didn't
Yeah.
exist as a couple yet.
And I was planning every day because I know there are ideas in my head. I want to write about those things. But I was every day thinking, okay, I have to do it. I have to do it. But in the meantime, every month I was paying for it. Then it came that at some point I said, okay, let's start making this website. But it took me 2 years. So that's the thing. If I had started doing the moment I bought the domain, it would be 3 years old now. So the thing is, the moment you feel that you have to do something, straight away, let go of the fear, let go of the procrastination. That's another thing. Procrastination comes normally from the fear that you're feeling, okay, I'm not ready yet. I have to put up my best work. And if I write something now, my blogs won't be of that standard. The thing is that I know many of you have a lot of plans. And if you feel like doing something, I should start doing it just for your own sake. No matter what other people
so
would
true.
think, it will make you feel good. Like, say, for example, Knowing Who You Are, the platform, I had this vision. I have this bigger vision, to be honest, but you have to take baby steps.
Yeah.
And you have to, every day, you have to make it count
Yeah.
and show up and do the work.
Yeah.
So, yeah. David is here. Good evening. How are you guys? David, we are
Nice
doing
to hear
great.
you.
We are doing great. Thank you. And how are you?
Well, I actually wanted to add to that because the other part of getting going with something is that you have to be ready to adjust. And, you know, it's totally okay to adjust to an environment around you. And I think a really good example of that was the first time I ever did like a market stall on an arts and crafts fair we had here in Kingston. And I thought, good, I'm going to have all these cards, you know, with my paintings on. I'm going to sell them. So the first day it was like, you know, I looked around and everyone's selling cards. I'm like, oh my God, what makes me different to everyone else, right? So then I saw, you know, people were really interested in this little statue. So that evening I bought 5 more statues. I painted all of them overnight. It was with the hairdryer. I was making them dry. And then the next day I sold all of them because it was just what needed and wanted wasn't cards. But you have to be ready to adjust. And you can't blame society or the system. You know, it's like, okay, they didn't want it. I didn't do my research properly.
Yep.
And so you have to be ready to make a
Well,
change.
I mean, you have to fail to build those experiences, and that's how you see your success. And normally, the interesting idea that we normally chase success, and we think that, okay, more money, success, and everything. Normally, you have to chase, and also anything you don't chase, it's a result of your process.
Right. Yeah.
So things you do. Say, for
Yeah.
example, we say, oh, I want to be happy, but you have to do certain things. You have to follow certain steps in a way or live a certain kind of life to become happy.
Yeah.
That should be, it's the end result
Yeah.
of the process.
And the key part is obviously being happy is normally when you're following the thing that you want to do, the purpose or the goal or something is that you were after and you're actually doing it. That's in the end of the day what makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can share that with another person and you both have that same, well, then you can't go wrong at that point, which is
David,
it's awesome.
thank you. I saw he's loving the comment or
and
the
he's
idea of
saying-
the discussion.
yeah,
he's saying,
we're visiting a friend in Tilbury and are watching you. Hey,
yeah.
hello, friend in Tilbury and David.
I used to go near Tilbury. I think it's near Lakeside.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean that's a
cool.
lovely area.
Great mall there.
Yeah. And Neha said, letting go straight away is not easy for everyone, I guess.
No, I mean, it wouldn't. It's for me either.
What's the struggle? I mean, I understand. I completely agree, to be honest. But what is your struggle when you feel like you can't let it go straight away? Where do you get stuck? I mean, definitely we always get stuck in some places. When I felt like letting go, it's a process which took me a long time, to be honest. I mean, when I feel that, sometimes I end up making people anxious. Oh my God, he's not doing it like this. He doesn't care about that particular object in his life or the materials. Then people get anxious to see me sometimes because I don't care about these things. This is the part of letting go, that you consciously decide on something that you don't want to do, you don't want to have. It's up to you. So let's share with us what's the difficult part of letting go for you, or what are you trying to let go? I mean, if it's human being in our life, it's relationships in our life, that's one thing. Everything has a process, and also what you're thinking, you need to check back. You might be right or you might be wrong. You have to see the both sides of things, because when we go through a certain things and everyone wants our good, they tell us a lot of different things. Advice comes from all different directions, and everyone have their own pieces of advice. Some are saying, okay, let go of this, and some say, no, keep it, work on yourself, a lot of things. So you have to take things into perspective and think, okay, and have a clear vision. And we are talking about core values the other day. Things we plan, say for example, on a yearly basis. So you have a plan for probably in the next 3 years. You already have a business, Neha, we know. So, and you're also studying to be a doctor. So what do you want to be? And what your plans? So we already know you want to be an entrepreneur. At the same time, you want to be an independent person, and also a doctor who wants to do something for humanity. And you have a lot of interesting plans, as we know.
Yeah.
So you have to think, everything that I'm doing in that year, every month, is it aligning with that vision? And people around me are aligning with that vision. They're helping me go a little bit closer to my vision. Even then, it comes down to weekly, daily, everything. Even a simple step you do, you have to see that, okay, have I made a little progress? So that's how we can go near wherever we want to be. Oh, David has said, let's see.
True happiness is enjoying your own company and living in peace and harmony with your body, mind, and soul. To be truly happy, you don't need other people or material things. Happiness is the consequence of personal effort and living a life of purpose.
Wow.
Amen to that.
David, beautiful.
That tied it up really nice.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I was
keep
trying
it as
to
a
say.
quote. I should keep it as a quote.
Yeah, we should.
So I would read that again. It's such a
Yeah.
lovely comment. True happiness is enjoying your own company, which is true, which we talk about self-love, loving yourself first. So that's the thing. And being able to comfortable with yourself, even if you're lonely. Some of us probably are rushed. Like Yatin called, he said he was rushed and he was feeling rushed that he has to get married, find someone. But when you learn to live with your own company and, you know, at leisure and without any pressure, you don't feel lonely. That's one of the successes. And that's when you have the time to find the right person or attract the right person. And living in peace and harmony with your body, mind, and soul. There comes taking care of our physical health, of our mental health. And there are ways how we do that. Definitely our diet and our fitness regime and what we are doing. We are walking, we are getting up early in the morning, or if not keeping up late at night, or if you're sleeping enough, a lot of things. And then to be truly happy, you don't need other people or material things. Everything we've been talking about, you just encompassed everything in that one comment. David, thanks a lot to you. You made it so easy. You don't need other people or material things. Exactly. Like what I was reading from Selena's book, I think that was from the writer she just mentioned about. And Laura or Lun, what was that? Sorry, I forgot the name. She can probably remind me of the name. So, and what did he say? You don't need other people. Okay, happiness is the consequence of personal effort and living a life of purpose. Wow. So, David, what's your purpose? That brings me to that. You definitely have a lot of clout in social media, since you have a lot of followers. People are following and things you're doing. So, what is your purpose and what drives you every day to put up those videos, make those things? What's your goal? What's your vision? We'd like to know. Please share. After this lovely comment, definitely will be useful as well for other people.
Yeah.
Selena said, okay, you can read that.
Oh, so Selena says, if it's a person, it can be us missing them too much. It's that attachment, whether it's been months or years of knowing someone. As Haruki Murakami once wrote, memories warm up from the inside, but they also tear you apart. Yeah. I mean, also to the degree that you let it tear you apart as well, because obviously there is the element of how much you get into it. Like, I think, I forgot her name, the lady who called in last week. She because in pretty much every time when we've had someone who's gone through, who's healed or is healing from a breakup or something, Swana, who got ripped apart, basically, all of them have gone for a creative avenue. But if you think about what is it that they're actually doing, they're following something that they love. They're following something that they do. It doesn't necessarily mean that you just do anything creative and you'll
But
heal.
interesting thing is about memory, because it's a neural process, a process in our brain. And sometimes you have to remember that moment is gone and that's not your reality.
Right.
Because that's why it's a memory.
Yeah.
It's a thing that's not with you anymore, be it good or bad.
Yeah.
So you have to think, if you have a clear perspective about what your reality is and what you're living, your present, that's the time when you can have a clear vision. Okay, I know it feels really nice and that was good. Those were good moments. And yeah, and it can tear us apart as well, because either way, because that was so good, it's not as good anymore. But the thing is that what's your reality? What's happening now? Because that's the reality. Because everything you're talking about, memory, it's something, it's a movie that plays in your brain and it's stored in there, but it's not there anymore. You can't touch it.
Yeah.
You can just feel it. And even if you try to remember it, you won't be able to remember it properly. You just know it's an obscure thing. You have a vague recollection of the things here and there, but it's not a clear thing. So think about the present, and having a clear vision is the important solution, which we forget about whenever we try to make a decision. Wow, Selena. And she said, replying to David Boido, inherently we're social beings and seek connection with people.
True. Yeah.
That's two things. Need for connection, fear of rejection.
Yeah.
These are the two driving force of a human being.
Yeah.
Reality versus memories. Nia says, good points, thank you.
Yeah.
And Selena, what is she saying?
Happiness is a journey. Let's say we all get a partner, kids, money, everything. There are celebrities who have everything money can buy and still miserable. As humans, we are always searching for the next high, next thing to attain or achieve. So there is no end point.
That's where let go comes.
Yeah, that is where
That's where let go, detachment, everything comes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no ending to it. I mean, back in the day, when I was growing up in the 80s, 90s, life was quite, I would say you grew up in the 80s, 90s as well. So, there are things. I mean, we grew up when there was no mobile phone.
Yeah.
It was just
no
a
internet,
telephone.
No
internet,
phone.
no mobile phone. So you can see, I mean,
Yeah.
Very old guy.
No, you're not. You're not. Because
joking.
if you're old and I'm old, because we're the same
Okay,
age.
so
Thank you very much.
No, we are very young. Sorry, she's connected. I can't say that. So the thing is, those days there are a lot more connection. Memories were made physically when we are sitting with someone, talking to someone. Spend a day. People would come to visit to our parents and come to our house, and we'd spend the evening. We'd see them just getting together, playing cards, watching movies. Photo albums would come out.
Photo albums don't happen anymore.
This is how we used
These
to
days, you
keep
just
ourselves entertained.
Yeah, I know you go to another person's cloud and just look on their Facebook and find all their pictures.
So this is where the idea of detachment and letting go comes, because otherwise there's so many distractions all around us. This is another thing I was listening today, and it's an interesting thing. We always say social media, But there are other things as well because of our life pattern and how the information overload and how the idea has changed about happiness and success as well, and how we compare ourselves to each other. It's not only social media, but there are other things that we have kind of got ingrained in our system. So that's what's creating this chase for the next best thing. Selena, wish you can play the song by Fro Fro Let Go on loudspeaker or something. Very apt for the discussion. Okay.
That's funny.
Fro Fro Let Go. Okay. I'll have to find that song. Yeah, we can probably. I can try that. Let's see if I can find it. I'm gonna play it.
Okay. Meanwhile, I think it's also really important because obviously not everyone is the same. Like everyone is different and everyone has different things that they like, different purposes that they like following. Some people are more apt to be loners and like being alone. Some people need someone else, and there's nothing wrong with either. And I think that's why, and I was thinking about memories. Now you're talking about memories and what they are. I find when there is something that from your past that you're hung up on that's not going away, that you can't move up from, it's because there's something about it that you haven't resolved. There's some sort of resolution that hasn't happened, or a decision that hasn't been made, or something that essentially that is why it's hung up, because you're wondering still, why did that happen, or how did that happen? Obviously, we're not always going to get the answer, but while a handling is to be in the present day and move on in the present day, I find a solution is very much to also just look at things, what happened, and see, well, where did I go wrong in this? Where did this person go wrong? And you look at, good, this was really not, that's how this went wrong. And you can sort of, it will dissipate at that point. Because I think that anything that has truth will dissipate eventually and will allow you to also not be hung up on stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a great believer in that.
No, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
And about the song Selena requested, I found the song. I just remembered there's the issue about copyright. So
Yeah. Because if we do that, we can't do this.
we can. I mean, I got blocked last time because of some music, and I couldn't be doing any live. I had to do them on YouTube because of the song.
Yeah.
So I don't want to risk it. I found the song. I was almost about to press play. Then I realized, no, I shouldn't. So I think it's a disease of the grass is greener on the other side. Perhaps if we lived a simpler life, we may go slower, be more happy, as we have seen with people who have much less than we have, and yet they are so happy, content with what they have.
Yeah, I remember growing up, we were talking about it the other day. Like, we would go camping with the whole family, my brother and my sister, and we didn't have mobile phones. We didn't have, my Walkman was my fantastic treasure, and I had one cassette, which was the Smurfs, and I would listen to it every night. But we took great fun in going around and finding apricots and fruits and apples and cutting them up and putting them in water and, pretending we were making soup, and, we kept ourselves busy.
Having said that, because probably you two have the mindset that you're not answerable to anyone.
True.
Because that's the problem. If you feel, say for example, you have few sets of clothing, 2 pairs of shoes, you're wearing them over and over again. If you feel that someone might say that, having said that, I'm a big fan of shoes. I shouldn't be talking about this. My whole house is, both of us, we have these racks of shoes. But everyone has their own things that they love, books, shoes, things like that. But having said that, as I was saying, that when you feel that you're not accountable, what you're doing, if you choose, because the post I made about your shoes the other day, there was a quote. It's an interesting quote where it said that the courage comes, and especially the self-confidence, it would come the moment you feel like you don't have to be accountable to anyone saying why you are pampering yourself, why you're buying this next thing you feel like, why you're keeping up a bit late.
Yeah.
Just be your own person.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the part, if you can let go, I think that's when you find the true freedom.
Yeah.
And it takes time. But I have been practicing it for quite some time. I'm still going on. But trust me, every time I feel that, I can disregard the opinions or the judgments of people around me, even if sometimes they say things in a certain way because they have their own standards. The moment I feel like that, or I think what my vision is, or how I look at things, or this approach I have towards things in life, And I feel that, well, it doesn't matter because they have their own opinion, very valid for them,
Yeah.
but not for me.
Yeah.
Because they have their values. According to their values, those things matter. But for mine, it doesn't. So,
Nice.
yeah. And let's see. Neha said, replying to Selena, not entirely true. It depends on people what they want. Content what they... Okay. And Selena replied...
We didn't have all the expensive things growing up that some kids do these days. I remember being happy with just 2 pens and a piece of paper. It was a very modest childhood, but never lacking. Yeah,
True.
same here. Absolutely.
I mean, I remember my first computer, one of my cousins, he got it, and I wanted to get my computer because by the time I already done my computer course and I topped the class. And I said, but I don't have a computer. I will forget everything. So yeah, I'm really happy that I had a childhood where my parents did give me whatever I wanted. But in a way, let me share a story. My parents, between my mother and father, my dad is very accommodating. Anything we want, he's the one who can never say no to. And my mother is always the one who is controlling the things. Okay, you shouldn't have this, you should have this. So say, for example, it was one Eid, I remember, Eid al-Fitr, we buy new clothes. So my mother would always say, my younger brother, he's the one, because he has this thing, he would always be like the good kid, in a sense that my mother would say, okay, I'm buying this shoe for you. He's like, okay, whatever you buy, he knows that he will end up, I mean, probably that's what he liked, so it's fine. But my thing, whatever I wanted to have it, even though I was the elder. So I chose a pair of shoes, which was back in the days, it was 3,000 taka. So I'm talking about 90s, early 90s. So it was pretty expensive in those days, 3.5 grand. So I liked it. And my mother was like, no, you can't have that money under your feet just like that. It's 3.5 grand under your feet in the form of a shoe. You can't. So I said, okay. But I was very sad. I came home. And I sat there at the dining table. My dad came from work. I mean, we have our own business. So he came from the factory. He sat. So he was sitting on his chair. And my mother is on the other side. My brother and I were sitting next to each other. Suddenly, he could tell that I'm not happy. He said, why is he so quiet? And I wasn't talking.
Oh,
because
sulking.
I was sulking. So my mother was like, no, tell me about it. I mean, this guy, he had chosen this pair of shoes, which is 3.5 grand. And I was like this. I wasn't saying anything. My dad said, as I was saying, he would never say no to us. He's like, Eid comes once a year. Get him the shoes. So I would get my wish like that.
Oh, that's funny.
But I'm just sharing the story because thankfully enough, but I have seen in my class, in my high school days, I've seen my friends, they didn't even drive, they didn't have a car, but they were happy. They would just turn up. Their parents would drop them off, pick them up, or sometimes they would just go on their own. But they were happy in their own ways. But nowadays, I see people are not really living, they're trying to living beyond their reality. So if you don't have it, you want that. Because in Instagram or in your class, someone is having it, a pair of shoes or this particular brand, and you want that particular brand. And this is why probably in Bangladesh they have something called master copies.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah. So you have anything you want, you have the copies.
Yeah. We have some nice incoming messages. We got Sohana. Hello, lovebirds. Hello.
Where's Sohana? Oh, yeah.
There. And then, let's see. Anuradha said 3,500 taka.
Yeah, it was
which year was
early
that?
90s probably. I think 90 or 89. I think 91, 92. Yeah.
Nice. David saying, what do you do when you feel a bit unhappy?
Okay, I'll get back to it.
Yeah, me too. Replying to Selena, this is from Neha, and me always happy to give more to others. Me, oh yes, well we know that, Neha. I mean, making others happy. Yes, you have a heart of gold, and you are your weight worth in platinum when it comes to being a friend.
She puts herself at
Oh
risk
my God.
sometimes trying to. I mean, every time I used to visit their house, we both of us. She would provide all the interesting food and she would just serve them on the table. Then she would say, sorry. Oh, sorry, I didn't do this. I said, well, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You cooked all these things.
I know.
You guys are feeding us this amazing cooking, Shakib and her.
Yeah.
And then you're saying sorry for what?
Yeah. And her sister Lucky's just the same. Made this
Yeah.
huge dinner for us, and she just stood there making sure we were eating and make sure there was more food.
There was pulao, there was white rice, there was khichuri, and there was a lot of different fish and chicken and beef and everything. It was Eid I'm talking about when we were in Bangladesh. But still, she's saying, "Oh, it's not enough," you know.
That was so
They're
full.
they're
You
blessed
literally-
people.
Oh, amazing.
Selena, my parents were never into spoiling themselves. My dad was very accommodating too. Everyone had to have brand new clothes for Eid, but we
Yeah.
would always put himself last. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, oh yeah. About that, I have to share a story.
Yeah.
He would always buy the most beautiful saris for my mom.
Oh, nice.
My parents were a minimalist. Anuradha
Yeah,
says I
yeah.
got that from them too. Wow.
Nice. Neha.
Blush.
Oh, lol. No, blush. I don't mean to say I'm good enough.
So I'm coming back to David's. We both would, but before that, I have to say to Selena's, my dad, every Eid, when my mom couldn't buy anything for him, she would feel like, being the wife, she would feel like buying something for the husband. So every time she would come back buying a shirt, trousers, shoes, or something, whatever he liked, he would never be happy. He's like, why for me? Why did you spend money on me? I mean, Eid is for them. It's not for us. Just buy whatever they want and not for me. Every time she would buy something, she would be happy. Oh my God, I'm getting it. You know, I mean, for partners when you're buying it.
Yeah.
I used to think now, if I was of what age I am now and I had the knowledge, I would say, please say thank you. Because, you know, when someone is doing something for you, they have this idea that when they give it to you, they see that smile rather than getting told off, you know, for doing that nice thing.
So funny. Very funny.
And going back to David, what do you do when you're unhappy?
I eat.
Okay.
Well, it depends what kind of unhappy it is.
Oh God.
If I'm just, I mean,
It's
honestly,
called binging, my dear.
No, it's not, my dear. It means having a meal when I haven't
Oh,
eaten. You know?
okay, eating.
Yes.
You're not binging. Okay.
No,
okay,
I don't know. Like, you know, you normally ask me, you know, when I'm sort of a bit stroppy, it's like, are you hungry, dear? And then normally it's because I haven't eaten for like 5 hours. I just forgot. So that's that element. But if there's something that happened, I normally actually start drawing. And I start doing something artistic. I start painting or something, or I go for a walk. I love just appreciating nature and what's around it, or normally helps me sort of extrovert to whatever the problem is. I don't listen to music because it tends to make it worse.
No?
I tend to not do anything that has anything dramatic, or I'll just read like a novel or something, like a spy thriller, and just, you know.
Because
yeah.
in neuroscience as well, it says that, say, every 45 minutes, when you're doing something, a focused work, or
Yeah.
you're being anxious,
Yeah.
focused with all the focusedness that you're anxious, something's making you unhappy,
Yeah.
you have to get out,
Yeah.
look around, but don't pick up your phone or anything to distract
Exactly,
you.
yeah.
Just look around and expand that vista in front of you so you see something else and you can distract your mind from that. As for me, whenever I get unhappy or I'm a bit stressed or something, now I'm happy or I'm lucky, fortunate that Esther is here now. So what she does, she picks it up first. I mean, I definitely pick it up first myself, but then she gets to see that as a outsider apart from me. So she would say that, okay, what's bothering you? So what she would do normally, which I struggle to do, I'm doing something, I can't let go of this thing. She would just drag me out of the studio or even at home, she'd say, okay, let's go out for a walk.
Yeah.
And that really, because you have to take yourself away and do something. And for me, one thing that definitely works and which I practice religiously, I go to the gym anyway regularly, but I make a point the days when I'm not feeling like doing anything, any physical activity, going to the gym or anything that would make me happy, I go to the gym first straight away. Do some physical exercise 1.5 hours. After I come out of the gym straight away, I keep on mentioning this one because when you have this blood flow to your brain, you feel refreshed and you're awake.
Yeah.
And all the stress and the feeling of you're feeling a downer, everything goes away.
So you also come up with some of your most brilliant ideas
Yeah.
while you're in the gym. You're actually
Because
working
in the
out.
gym, that's the
He'll
time.
He'll text me, go, we should do this and that
Yeah.
and that. How about that? And
Because I do a lot of research. I
Yeah.
listen to things. I read as
Yeah.
well sometimes. So that's the time for me, definitely getting out of the house, getting out of an enclosed place like my studio even though I love doing my music, singing, practicing, playing guitar. But there are times when I have to leave the house, go out, get some fresh air. And throughout the day, at least for 14 minutes, you should get some sun. And that's recommended.
Absolutely.
It's very important.
Yeah. David said here, I thought Esther will say she starts taking photos. Well, the only reason why I don't, because I would have to unpack my kit and start walking around. And if I do it with my phone when I'm not feeling too hot, the last thing I want to do is pick up my phone normally. So it makes sense. That's why I say making pictures, and I actually draw and I paint them. So, or I'll write poetry or something deep.
You should see that when she starts painting. Oh my God, she gets so much into it. I don't disturb her, and I know that she's in her zone.
I'm always standing.
It's called flow state.
I'm standing, and I've got paint on my face and my hair and
and glitter. And David says, okay, replying to Anuradha means a lot.
Because earlier
Anuradha
on,
said,
Neha got an invitation. See, we're now getting a matchmaking and invitations on our show.
oh, Neha Karimapu is a giver. I knew it.
Yeah.
Apu call me soon. Oh, you're invited to Norwich for a holiday. I want to make you
Yay.
happy on a holiday.
Here you go,
that's
Neha.
so
Neha to
sweet.
Norwich.
Oh, means a lot. Sure, will come. Yeah.
Nice.
We didn't get invited. Why?
No, why didn't we
We
get
are
invited?
unhappy too. Okay, I watch comedy movies when I feel sad. Music and singing
Makes me feel worse. Same here. Absolutely. Neha.
Well, music works for me.
But you then
I
you
get
go into
distracted.
your guitar and you do intense. Like you just go intense.
I break a string. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Neha said perfect match in right time, Esther and Ershad. I feel so happy to see you guys are happy. Thank you. We are E
love
and
you.
E in harmony.
E in harmony.
Okay. And Selena, what advice would you give to someone to calm their anxiety? Okay, we are getting to it.
Then Dad says, next time record her when she's painting and post that on her TikTok.
I think you have done it,
you're
didn't
right.
you?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
She has some crazy videos already of, her process. You'd
True.
see how she throws glitter on a paper or things
Yes.
like that. On your YouTube?
On my TikTok.
On your TikTok as
yes,
well,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but exactly.
All go together. Okay.
Yes, Neha, let's go
Selena's
together.
message. What advice would you give to someone to calm their anxiety? I think people who have it basically
Oh.
absorb everything in life 100 times more, or similar to sensitive people taking in music differently. Okay, there's an article about this. So let's say there's a big event coming and you feel anxious everywhere, in stomach, heart racing, etc. Apart from beating deeply, what else is there?
Well, I was in the event industry
Performance
for a long time.
part of it I can talk
Yeah,
you
performance
through.
you can, but I guess it's a good that you give an example like a big event coming. An event could be anything from an actual event, like just audiences, there's food, there's all that catering and all that, or there's literally just like a thing that's going to happen in your life where you have to get ready. And I find the most important thing is when I get anxious about anything, it's because I feel somewhere not ready. Because the point is, if you are anxious, that means you are worried that something's going to happen that you can't control. So I find for any situation, I write a very thorough list of things to do. I work back from good. This is how it's supposed to look. You work back from that particular product and you write it all out. And I find the more I write down, the less I keep in here and the less I have to worry that I forget something that I not. If you write a full time sequence, like it was on my job, it was a simple thing. Like I was really worried about certain things that had to be done on a regular basis in a certain time. I realized there was no actual written document that just takes you through the whole thing. So I wrote it. I actually created one. It's now a 75-point checklist. And every night I just follow it through. And in fact, the next 3 staff who were also hired there,
You're very good with that.
Yeah, they were given a copy of it and now they use it. Because in the end of the day...
Even your life. How you plan things, I've
everything
seen
is
it.
organized. But I find the most important thing is you write down what it is you're worried about. Because in the end of the day, the only reason why a worry would happen, well, why would you be worried? Something will go wrong. Why would it go wrong? It's because you didn't plan for it. So if you didn't plan for it, then you have a potential
You're
disaster.
not prepared. That's the
exactly.
thing.
Yeah, that's my input
Yeah,
on
that's
that.
true. And I would say the same thing, like when you have a performance coming, because being a performer myself on stage, a lot of different capacities, like TV shows, live TV shows and things
yeah.
like that. And even when I'm performing as a musician, so every time, remember, anything you want to do, first thing is preparation. And if you're not prepared enough, you'll always be nervous. That's one thing. But connected to it, another feeling is that a good segue into it, I would say, it's about the idea of letting go. Because I have learned to do that, thinking about, okay, my poetry, I'm going to recite. Would people like it? Am I good enough? Think about all those judgments, what people would think about you, what opinion you have. Initially, I said that whenever you have an idea, 10% of the people would hate it, 80% would be indifferent, and 10% would totally love it. So you just do it for yourself or for that 10%. And rest of the 90 doesn't matter. The thing is that they can have their opinion. You don't have to be angry about it or disappointed. So one thing is, let go. You just want to enjoy your moment. That's your moment. Say, I'm going out for a performance. I just want to enjoy my time on stage. I rather get excited. Yeah, definitely you should have a little bit of butterfly in the stomach. I mean, you should. If you don't have it,
Then why are you even doing it?
Because every good performer, there should be, I mean, there's Durdana Ansari. She had been with BBC World Services for 30 years. Now she is honorary captain in the Royal Navy. She said that once one of her colleagues said that once your palm stops sweating, it means that you have lost it. Because you won't be performing, because you're too arrogant, you don't care about people, and you don't maintain the decorum. So it's important. You should be a little bit of anxious, but good preparation should take it out. Another thing is important, when you can literally detach yourself from the judgments of people, whether you're good enough, your performance, what they are thinking. If you're sitting there, standing there, you are thinking about all those things, you'll definitely end up performing badly. That's for sure. We have the negativity bias as human beings, so that's going to happen. You can't help it. And it's an interesting thing in social media. Say, for example, have you realized that when you open the videos that are recommended for you on Facebook or somewhere, mostly there are things which are gruesome, because it's a research they found. When you give people the happy things, they look at it, they forget about it. But whenever something that makes you angry, you carry on doing it. An example was that, say, for example, you're reading something, you went to a party, and in the party, you just suddenly, someone coming out of the party just putting up a status saying that, oh, it was amazing, food was great, people were great. So everyone would be like, love, 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 okay, forget about it. But then suddenly you said, oh, in that party, that woman, the sari she wore, oh, it was totally inappropriate. And someone was like, what are you talking about? That was an expensive sari and she was looking great, probably. And someone would say, oh, yeah, I agree with you. So the social media had seen, the moment you put these negative things, because I was talking about negativity bias, the moment you get all the attentions back on that platform, because everyone is engaging now.
Yeah,
but
it's true.
if you promote the happy things, they're like, okay, happy, fine, everyone is loving it, then gone. Because then if people get happy looking at your post, they're like, okay, put the Facebook down, I'm happy, I want to do something else. But when you're unhappy, that's the time when you're picking it up and spending time for hours watching, and getting angry about the rest of the world.
I just like watching funny TikTok videos about cats. Cats and dogs.
Oh my God, there's so much stigma attached to it. Everyone talks about, like, people who are productive.
Yeah.
Every time they say, and you can spend your time, if you like, watching cat videos, or you can do this.
True, but it's so fun. That's another
doom
answer.
scrolling, exactly.
Yeah, it's another question. Like when I not feel too happy, that would be one of the things I would definitely do.
Watch cat videos, okay. And David says, nice chatting with you guys.
Yeah.
I gotta go now.
Thank you, David.
See you soon.
Great
Thank
for
you.
your input.
That's why I waved at him when you were talking. I didn't interrupt you.
I was like, I just thought you were trying to get my attention.
You already replied.
Yeah, I did.
To him.
I replied to him too.
Naya said, replying to Anuradha, we will come together.
Yay!
Yeah.
We make it a field trip.
Yeah, it reminds me of the song Come Together Now.
Come together.
No, it's a Come
right
Together.
Now.
It's an interesting beat. I forgot about that.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so who's going to call next? Let's have... I think we really talk really deep today.
I know.
And I'm very happy that everyone has this lovely input.
Yeah.
But funny thing is that we missed Shifat's comment. She's like, I'm so bad. During sadness, I listen to sad songs and cry and make things worse.
That's terrible. I can totally see you do that. Makes me want to cuddle you.
And Neha said she's the same too. Oh my God. Just imagine you are feeling bad and you just start watching a movie which is sad. and you take a handkerchief or some kind of, serviette in your hand, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so miserable. My life's so miserable. And this movie is so miserable as well on top.
God.
Yeah, that's explosive. I mean, that's why sometimes it's a funny thing. When we sit down to watch movies sometimes, so my thing is, whenever I choose or pick movies or something to watch, I go for serious things, which is cerebral, intellectual. There are times Esther will be like, before we sit down, can we today watch something that makes me happy? I'm not really in the mood of seeing something serious.
That's not a tragedy.
Yeah.
Where it's a typical Indian tragedy where one person who will be typically the hero's husband or wife will die somewhere at a really terrible part.
Yeah, that's why you have to do the stoic thing, amor fati. Like, you have to accept your fate. You're going to die one day.
Yes, I'm not planning to in the very near future, though.
Well, you can never tell, but I don't want you to.
Hey,
I don't want
stop
you to.
saying that. Stop saying that.
We shouldn't.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yes, Pabi, I need a cuddle. I honestly make it so much worse for myself, and it's like my brain is saying, these lyrics are sad. You must listen to this. Oh, no. Okay, next time it happens.
This good point.
Yes.
That reminded me, sorry to interrupt you, because
It's
every
okay,
time
I'm used
she's
to it.
unhappy, she says, you know what I want now? So I have to give her a cuddle. So that's what make her happy. I mean, rather than trying to solve the problem and have a longer discussion, if I go and give her a cuddle, that helps her.
Yeah, it does.
So I think,
Absolutely.
sorry to cut you off, but I was talking about you. So
I forgot
I
what
think
you
I
said.
can do that.
Because I just remembered the cuddle. It was really good.
yeah. So yeah, please, what do you?
Well, no, I actually was going to say something because I wanted to read this. It's completely not sequitur to what we're talking about right now, but it's to do with the creativity aspect of things. And there was something that I asked my niece called Nikki. She's 10 years old, and I said, so, what do you like doing when you trying to really create something? Because we were talking about creativity, and I like the fact that they're all extremely creative. My eldest niece is Georgia. She's 12, and she is a fantastic artist. She makes miniature little statues and paintings. And then the next niece is Nikki, and she writes really, really well.
I was surprised to the when you shared that with me.
Amazing. And then I've got Jet, who's my nephew. He's 7 now, and he builds things. Like, he is strong, and he builds things, and he's always creating things. And then I've got Lily, who is the youngest. She's 5, and she is a complete, she loves reading, she loves writing, and she was explaining to me about, grammatical
Noun
senses,
frames.
Noun phrases and all that. So the latest things she learned, and she gave me lots of examples. So needless to say, I'm fully biased, but I have the most amazing nieces and nephew.
But this poetry she's
there
going to
was a
share.
poem,
Before you do that, can
Yeah.
you reply, Anuradha?
Anuradha, she said, you missed my earlier comment, Ershad Bhai. I said, I needed Giant Singra from you guys first. Oh, yes. Okay, good.
I think we read that. Yeah,
I
we
think it was
remember.
just
We talked
Shingara.
about chai and shingara
Yeah.
and tea and shingara. Yeah, definitely.
We're going to do that.
What is your favorite shingara? Write down, everyone, and while she reads the poetry, but listen to it too. It's a very lovely one.
Okay, good. You can turn the music off for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what my 10-year-old niece wrote. She wrote this. The dilapidated ruins... Oh, wow, we're having music? From the beginning. By Nikki. The dilapidated ruins were engulfed in silence. Decaying buildings as tall as the clouds claimed the uninhabitable void, metropolis, while growing ivy never stopped, clambering above its reclaimed home. The sinister rustle of leaves gives an intense feeling of peculiarity that rushes throughout your body and makes you feel like you're being watched. With a small fragment of imagination, the clouds form into a crystal clear shape of unknown beasts. Moss cascades down crumbling towers as if it was a slide. Different greens that bloom in front of your eyes shroud the bizarre ruins. No one has been here. I see you sneaking around my territory.
I mean, I don't have words to explain. She's a 10-year-old. At the age of 10, normally people go for this rhyming poetry, more like, I don't know where she got that from.
Oh, yeah. And so
It's
can
just-
everyone see? This is her. Yay, Nikki!
Yeah, Nikki, the 10-year-old Nikki.
She's head girl. She's got multiple teacher awards. and she performed piano in front of the whole of her school, just as part of a celebration they had. And as a result, she was awarded a little mini scholarship with piano lessons by the school. Woo!
Oh my God.
My nieces are amazing.
I was surprised today when you shared with me. In the meantime, everyone is talking about their shingara choices. So Neha said, Kolija shingara. Kolija is liver.
Oh.
I love that. But I'm more of a aloo shingara person, like potatoes.
Yeah, me too. I think.
Anuradha is veg shingara and chicken shingara.
Yeah.
Okay, chicken
Yeah.
shingara. Wow. Wow, so good. Yeah. So probably in Norwich we are having veg shingara and chicken shingara. So on aloo shingara with badam. So badam is nuts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that sounds good.
So it's good. But I think aloo shingara, just keep it simple. I'm happy. I'm a very simple person. I don't want much out of life.
Wow.
So
Anuradha says, wow, this is good, so talented. Probably about my niece. Yeah, I agree. Amazing.
it was really good because if you open it, I'm going to read a certain lines and I'll just try to get their attention to those lines. Because when I read that, I understand she's 10. She's probably learning new words. She's making good use of it. That's not only that, because which I did too when I was young. But how to express it. And sometimes I'm like, what am I reading? Is it a copy from probably a great poet or something? Because some of the lines. Here she says, the sinister rustle of leaves gives an intense feeling of peculiarity that rushes throughout your body and makes you feel like you're being watched. How amazing. Just imagine when you're being watched, you have this feeling, what it makes you feel, that discomfort. How she put that, and she's 10. I'm going to keep on saying that. With a small fragment of imagination, the clouds form into crystal clear shapes of unknown beasts. Just imagine that. If you think about clouds, I'm just in a poetic land now. So when you look at clouds, sometimes you see shapes. We all do. But she put it in her. I mean, we think like, oh, why didn't I write about this? She had done that. She is a poet. She's going somewhere. Then she said, this is my favorite line. Moss cascades down crumbling towers. Cascades down crumbling towers, moss, as if it was a slide. Different greens. Okay, it was a slide. Nice. So she says, moss form into crystal clear. Sorry, what is that? Moss cascades down crumbling towers as if it was a slide. Amazing. Different greens that bloom in front of your eyes shroud the bizarre ruins. Oh my God. No one has been here. I see you sneaking around my territory. Oh my God. I have to talk to Nikki. She's just amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, Yusuf,
excellent.
wow. Wow to you as well. We have
Va, 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 va.
wow, yeah. So Yusuf, you should call us now.
Yes.
And read something
We
for
want
us.
a poem in Urdu from Yusuf.
Yeah, a
Yes,
poem
please.
in Urdu from Yusuf,
We have
please.
music ready.
Yeah, we'll play music as well behind that. So we have that sound, we have the music ready. Yusuf, please call us and read something for us. He's an amazing reciter, so he should.
Yes, absolutely.
And I was amazed by Nikki's poem. Anuradha said, yes, potato shingara is the veg one, and no, shingara party
In your living room.
Oh,
Hey!
Yusuf is on.
Hello, Yusuf in the house.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. I'm Ershad. How are you?
I'm
Good.
good. I'm good. Thank you.
for
Watching
calling.
you live, it's what an excellent feeling. Both of you. And while you are talking poetry, so I thought I
yes.
should poke my nose there.
Yes.
You should. And
Yes,
you
yes,
definitely
yes.
should recite something in your deep voice.
Yes. And
Yeah,
also,
I will decide. In fact, if you can give me 1 second, I will
Yeah,
go and
definitely.
get the
Nice.
book.
Oh, yeah.
oh, exciting.
Then I will read you with English and Urdu both.
Oh, please.
Nice.
Yeah,
we have some music
we
ready?
got a poet yesterday, Beals of her book was there.
Ah.
I did a book. I'm just taking the note of everything. Yes. I'm going to read her poetry.
So you have your own YouTube channel.
Her
on
book name is The Dreamer Awakes.
Okay.
In Urdu, you call it bedari.
Wow.
So basically, is a like you can say like a free verse, and in between beliefs. That's what the book is
Beautiful.
at the moment. And I'm going to
Yusuf,
read it.
Yusuf, we're going to have a little bit of music while you're reading as
Reciting it,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Let me. Yes, between belief. So what I'll do, I'll read 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 stanzas there, four paragraphs. So first I'll read in English, then I'll read in Urdu.
Nice.
It might explain. If you can excuse me with my English accent,
Please.
but I will read it.
No problem.
Between belief,
Okay.
blue turquoise and aquamarine, a distant liquid flowing dream of some hereafter, tantalizing wisps of another scene, gliding streams of emerald green appear between tears and laughter. ईमान के दरमियान नीला हरा फिरोजी सा एक धुंधला सा ख्वाब पानी की तरह बहता हुआ दूर बहुत दूर चमकती सी घास जैसे किसी और जगह फिसलते हरे जमरुद की तरह जो आए नजर हंसने और रोने के दरमियान. So where are the gardens the river dreamed about, the angels and the jinns, the state of bliss in doubt? तो कहाँ है वो सारे बाग, वो नदियां ख्वाबों वाली, वो सारे फरिश्ते और जन्नत, जन्नत की लज्जत बनी एक सवाल. Or indeed the fire, if that is what's being earned, the chilling heat of Saturn upon the flesh already burned, the horrific hint of helplessness about the lessons never learned. या फिर वो एक आग जो मैंने ही कमाई, वो सर्द जलन शैतानी की जो और जलाए झुलसन को, डर से भरा बेबसी का इशारा जो मिला मुझे उन सब के लिए जो पढ़े ही नहीं कभी असबाक. Recoil is conditioned madness. It's conditioned madness. Defenses split and block that sliver of awareness that reappears to mock the airtight membrane of disbelief that shields like a rock from the liquid flowing dream, turquoise, blue aquamarine of some hereafter. पीछे हट जा, ये है सोचा समझा खुद को बचाने की वो हिस्स जब जाग जाए सब बंद कर दे, बेदारी चांदनी के वरख जैसी वो बार बार मजाक बनाए पर ईमान की कमजोरी रास्ता रोक खड़ी हो जाए किसी सख्त चट्टान की तरह और रखिए तुमको दूर बहुत दूर उस धुंधले बहत जो है नीला हरा फिरोजी सा एक धुंधला सा ख्वाब. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
You blow me away every time you read out your things. It's amazing.
She couldn't stop smiling. She was looking at me and was like, oh my God.
It's so good.
Really, your voice and you have so much
Brilliant
expression.
program you guys are doing.
Thank you, Yusuf.
Thank you.
you. And hey, promote your own. You've got your own YouTube
Urdu
channel,
voice.
your Urdu voice, right? So
Yeah, my London Urdu voice, that is purely for Urdu, and mostly we are doing progressive prose and poetry. and we are trying to invite Ershad as well
Sure.
to dedicate something for London Urdu Voice.
Nice.
Definitely.
And we are trying to make it multilingual, but at the
Nice.
moment we are doing for Urdu only.
Yeah.
And so
One of my favorite languages, and you do so well. Can we have another poetry? I mean, I can't help it. I really love your
yeah,
voice.
why not? Why
Please,
not?
please, another
Just
one.
1 minute. I can get something. Which I like it.
Uh-huh.
I like some of the poetries like Faiz
Oh,
poetry.
yeah.
If you want,
Mm-hmm.
I can read some Faiz and Faiz for the
Please.
progressive poet.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, beg your pardon. And his poetries are basically for common man. He talks about common man and he thinks about common man. So I can read you some of his poetry.
And he's the one who wrote Gulo Mein Rang Bhare.
Gulo Mein Rang Bhare.
Yeah.
Baade no bahar chale. One I will read it, which I like it is let me find it. Intezar.
In the meantime, we have a lot of comments.
A lot of
People are
feedback.
like, "Wah, wah, aha, kya baat." Khubsurat loves hai Urdu. Very nice. Very, very touchy. Amazing. A lot of comments are
Yeah.
coming.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you. People are like,
And
yes.
when we have a good
That is the
recite.
one which is called Rakib Se.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And
beautiful.
the
I
Rakib
love
Se
that.
basically it's like, what do you call it in English? It's opponent of lover.
Oh.
It's basically opponent of lover. Two lovers, there is an in-between guy. And
Oh.
for that, he in this poetry he gave us different
Viewpoints.
perspective,
Yeah.
different perspective for the enemy of lover. He said
Oh.
that he is basically involving the enemy of lover in his poetry and asking him. He needs to tell him what. Just listen to this poetry, you will like. की थी कारवां गुजरे हैं जिनसे उसी रानाई के जिसकी इन आंखों में बेसूद इबादत की है तुझसे खेली हैं वो महबूब हवाएं जिनमें तुझसे खेली हैं वो महबूब हवाएं जिनमें उसके मलबूस की अफसुर्दा महक बाकी है तुझसे बरसा है उस बाम से महताब का नूर तुझसे भी बरसा है उस बाम से महताब का नूर जिसमें बीती हुई रातों की कसक बाकी है तूने देखी है वो पेशानी वो रुखसार वो होंठ जिंदगी जिनके तसव्वुर में लुटा दी हमने तुझ पे उठी हैं वो खोई हुई साहिर आंखें तुझ पे उठी हैं वो खोई हुई साहिर आंखें तुझको मालूम है क्यों उम्र गंवा दी हमने हम पर मुश्तरका है एहसान गमे उल्फत के इतने एहसान के गिनवाऊं तो गिनवा ना सकूं हमने इस इश्क में क्या खोया है क्या सीखा है जिस तेरे औरों को समझाऊं तो समझा ना सकूं आजिज़ी सीखी गरीबों की हिमायत सीखी यासो हिरमान के दुख दर्द के मायने सीखे जेर दस्तों के मसाइब को समझना सीखा सर्द आहों के रुखे दर्द के मायने सीखे जब कहीं बैठ के रोते हैं वो बेकस जिनके अश्क आंखों में बिलकते हुए सो जाते हैं, नातवानों के निवालों पर झपटते हैं वो ख्वाब, बाजू तोले हुए मंडलाते हुए आते हैं, जब कभी बिकता है बाजार में मजदूर का गोश्त, शाहराओं पे गरीबों का लहू बहता है, शाहराओं पे गरीबों का लहू बहता है, आग सी सीने में रह रह के उबलती है ना पूछ, अपने दिल पर मुझे काबू ही नहीं रहता, आके वाबस्ता है उस हुस्न की यादें तुझसे, आके वाबस्ता. It means the poet loves called upon his rival in love to the beloved to come. There is a great poignancy in this call, but the identity of the beloved is also an enigma to be revealed later. The poet, the lover, has a lot of sweet memories associated with the same beloved that the rival has. And coming will remind him of her and give him comfort in shared misery. Neither of them has been able to win her. It was a love for her that had made his heart into a house of fairies, like fairy tales. In a love, they had both forgotten the rest of the world and treated it as mere fable. So that's what it is. The first one, आके वाबस्ता है सुसन की यादें तुझसे. The second one, आशना है तेरे कदमों से वो राहें जिन पर, means your feet too are familiar with the same pathways on which her intoxicating youth has been benevolent, over which caravans of her brilliance have passed. My eyes have worshipped, adored that brilliance, beauty, without any expectation of fulfillment. तुझसे खेली हैं वो महबूब हवाएं जिनमें, it means that stanza.
Yep,
That
please.
pleasant breeze has played with you too. That the breeze that still carries the faint fragrance of her robe on you too has the brilliance of that full moon rained down from the rooftop, in which the bittersweet pain of those nights still lingers. The picture is of the beloved on the rooftop, looking brilliant like the full moon, and ever since moonlit night carrying bittersweet memories for the poet, lover, and his rival. The third one, which is very important, and Esther, you like it.
Yeah.
And in Urdu, they call it तूने देखी है वो पेशानी वो रुखसार वो होंठ. See, that's an expression of love with totally different meanings.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. It's dual meanings. जिंदगी जिनके तस्वुर में लुटा दी हमने. In this one, what Faiz is saying is, you too have seen that brow, that face, those lips, in the contemplation of which we both have squandered our lives. Those enchanting eyes with that lost faraway look have also cast glance at you. You know why we, you and I, have wasted our lives.
Oh.
Fourth one, both of us share the benevolence of the pain of love. He's basically talking to the rival. Both of us share, this is very important, both of us share the benevolence of the pain of love. So many kindness that I will not be able to recount them. All that we, you and I, have lost and learned from that love. Who also accept, you can, I explain to, who else will be able to understand.
No.
We learned what it feels like to be helpless, to try to help the needy. We learned the pain and sorrow of deprivation and longing. We learned to understand the problems of the downtrodden. We learned that chill sighs and pale faces can mean. It now becomes clear that the common beloved between the poet lover and his rival are the deprived of the society. There is a pain of love for them. that is common to both.
Wow.
Wherever these helpless ones sit down, sobbing with tears in their eyes, fall asleep, or whenever they have a little food, exploiters come like hawks, snatching away their morsel, hovering with the menacing gait. Whenever the body of the worker is on the sale in the bazaar, in the market, whenever her blood flows on the high road, my blossom overflows with fire anger. I can no longer control myself. Thank you.
Wow.
Wow. Bravo. My
Beautiful,
God.
beautiful.
God, it's like
Thank you
a
very
whole
much.
You
new...
set the mood for the evening. Amazing.
Excuse with my accent. My accent is
Oh,
very
no,
high.
no, no, no.
No, it's good. It was very, very clear. And you've raised the whole level of the evening to a whole spiritual new level, I think.
Nothing matters in front of
thank
your
you.
voice. When your voice speaks,
No, it's
everything,
amazing. Amazing.
and how
you,
much
thank
drama
you.
and expression you have.
Yeah.
Everyone loved it. Everyone
Yeah.
just now proposing that we should have poetry like this every week.
Yeah, why not?
We should, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
We should have Yusuf as our special guest every
Yes.
week. I would love to have Urdu poetry, one of my favorite languages.
Absolutely. And one day we should do again what we did.
Yes, as well. Thanks to everyone who are
Yeah. No, there's a bunch of listeners.
watching and enjoying.
No, definitely. Really. Thank you very much for your contribution, Yusuf.
Both of you look good.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent. Excellent.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yusuf.
Super.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the
Enjoy.
support.
Be
Thank-
happy. Take care.
Thank you.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
God, his voice has this booming voice. Or it's
I mean,
like...
it's more about definitely the voice plays a
But
part,
the way
but his
he,
expression.
but when he says it in Urdu, you have like there's this whole dramatic
Because
element
Urdu
to it.
is already a dramatic language,
Urdu.
is Urdu.
Urdu.
And on top of that, their poetry is very rich. And he gives the expression to it, whatever is needed. This is
Yeah.
what I talk about every
Yeah.
time. And anyone who's reciting, if you want to give life to those words, you have to be a good reciter,
Yeah.
of which he
He's
is.
amazing.
Amazing. I mean, I enjoy every time listening to him, and it's so nice. And I'm sure everyone is.
Yeah, I
so
see
many
all the
things
good
are
things.
going on there. So, thank you everyone for being part of this lovely journey of Urdu poetry.
Yeah.
And thanks to Yusuf
Very
for
nice.
this week's contribution. Probably he'll join us. But I'm about to do an interview with him very soon for Knowing Who You Are. Because probably you don't know, he was infected with COVID twice.
Yeah.
And he defeated cancer as well
Yeah.
recently.
It's all in the same year.
All in the
2020,
same time.
he got COVID, and not just the COVID that, a little bit mild cold. He got the whole lot, the whole thing, respirator almost and all.
Yeah.
And then he got cancer, and then he beat that too.
Yeah.
And he had a year of just...
So
He
it says
survived it.
another round of applause
Yeah.
for
Oh,
Yusuf.
Yusuf,
Thank
survivor.
you, Yusuf.
We have a new listener here.
Imrul Kai Shumon, he is a friend of mine.
Oh,
He
great.
said, Ershad Bondhu kemon acho? So it's in Bengali. He's
Yeah.
asking me how I'm doing.
Good.
Yeah, Bondhu khub bhalo achi, Imrul. Hope you're doing well as well. And hope you enjoyed the poetry and the gathering and people who are joining together. So today we had a lovely, lovely, lovely evening.
Yeah.
I have to thank everyone for your contribution. And I had read, say, for example, Selena sent some book pages, then I could share some videos. We had this discussion about letting go, detachment in life, how to achieve that, to take that pressure off us, of our mind and from our shoulders as well, that everything that weighs us down, how to take control and win that over. When you are so worried about what other people are thinking outside, how you're leading your life, what you're doing in life and all the things. And when people are calling shots for you, rather than ignoring those things and how you concentrate on what you want, what makes you happy. So that's what we talked about. You had a lot of interesting things to share with us. Thanks to everyone and for your contribution and for the constant support for Knowing Who You Are. And this is what makes us feel so special about the whole platform, that we have managed to create this community and slowly it's growing. People are joining in. That's what I envisioned for this whole platform, that people will find the resilience with the help of each other rather than finding an expert from somewhere or a therapist or anywhere. Definitely, they have their places. Everything I talk about, definitely those experts, they found those. And I share those data with you and those research data with you, but definitely if we can enrich ourselves with the knowledge and the wisdom from that point, I think we can achieve many things that we don't have to be dependent on other people, and we can help each other with our own experiences.
Yeah.
Esther is laughing.
No,
Definitely there's a comment.
I was laughing about something that Anuradha said. Any poetry reminds me of ballet dancing now because of the we posted the post earlier.
Because she told me something today because she's planning to do a tribute, and she said she was very sad today earlier because Lata Mangeshkar, she's one of the how should I tell her? She's one of the voices of India, Bollywood, Indian music for such a long time.
Yeah,
she and her
I
sister.
saw it in the news.
So she died. She passed away. So she and Anuradha sings a lot of her songs, and she literally said that my student life in London, I literally sang her songs, and that was my job as well. So that's how she earned money.
Yeah.
So she was very sad throughout the day today.
Yeah.
And she said she wants to do a tribute show in London.
Yeah.
And there she said that probably there's one song she suggested.
Yeah.
And she said probably Esther can dance to that when I recite the poetry part of it.
I would love to
Yusuf,
do that.
if he's listening, I mean, he would be such a good voice for that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yusuf, we are talking about, if you're there still listening to it, Ye Kahan Aa Gaye Hum. So where Amitabh Bachchan, he had those recitation when he does in the background, when the voice is singing, which is Rekha on the
Yusuf
picturization.
he's still watching. He says she's Lata, the night angel of India. Yeah, and then also Shifat is saying Lata is such a massive part of my singing life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there she says. Anuradha says, I propose a show where you could do it with us and you share your talent. I think Esther, yeah, would be yeah. Okay, I would love to do that. I would do that.
Yeah. We'll definitely make it happen.
Exciting.
And you'll also do it with hopefully BPC.
Yeah.
But probably we should invite Yusuf to do that recitation.
Yeah.
Because I'll be singing anyway.
Yeah.
And so for that recitation, Yusuf can be the voice. And he can bring the drama in it.
Great.
I think
so
that'd
he'll
be
do
great.
the voice, you do the singing, and I'll do the dancing.
And Anuradha has to do the singing. So we all four of us, we joined forces.
Yeah, an exclusive program on Lata, exactly.
Yeah, we are planning it in London, and Anuradha is the initiator. Anuradha Nandi.
Thank you, Anuradha.
She's in Norwich, and she would come all the way from there to organize this. She was in London for a long time.
Yeah.
So she would organize that, and we've been talking. She shared her ideas with me today. So I made the declaration, Anuradha, without your permission, but I thought
Yusuf has agreed. He's doing it.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, great.
Yeah.
What will spring from knowing who
definitely.
you are?
So Yusuf would be there. So Selena says, will we meet up anytime soon?
Yeah, be nice.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Apart from every week's meetup session, virtual meetup session, we should on a weekend.
We should do a Knowing Who You Are get together.
Knowing Who You Are.
All of our hardcore people that are with us every week, support us every week.
We should get together, and like we did a couple of days back.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Thursday at Rich Mix in Shoreditch. So we can do anywhere in London, and everyone can join. We can have a great time.
Good. Lo, it looks like it's got the seal of approval from Anuradha now. Lovely suggestion for that recitation part, Ershad Bhai. Yusuf would be a perfect match for Amitabh Bachchan voice. Okay, good.
So he's the actor.
Aha.
So he's another super actor.
Nice.
He's still acting.
How cool.
So it'd be a nice plan.
Yeah.
Let's plan. And he already agreed that he would love to do that. So
okay.
Perfect. So we have a nice plan on the live show tonight. So Yusuf says, Anuradha, thanks. Anuradha, love suggestion for, that's
good.
So guys, I think time's there. It's 8. It's 2 minutes past 8. So we'll slowly wrap it up. So everyone, thanks for your contribution today and the lovely discussion, as I was saying earlier, what we had.
And what a creative evening.
A lovely
Very
evening.
Creative.
And trust me, anyone who was feeling unhappy, Anuradha, you can say that. You said that. You were feeling bad today. Does it make you a little bit happier now with all this conversation we happened, and also the creative vigor that we felt coming from Yusuf, Nikki's poetry, and the intellectually stimulating conversation we had? I hope probably it had made you feel a little better. So that's the idea of knowing who you are, and this is what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So on that note,
well, we would like to wish you a very good night, and everyone is like, Yes, much happier. Thank you, guys. You're welcome. So are we. We're always stoked at the end of a show. And the best part of the show is the friendships that we have that builds us, cross bridges, and create a platform for everyone to enjoy, and the community we have. You are what makes this special for us, and this is why we keep doing this. So with no further ado, we wish you a very good night, and we see you next Sunday at 6 p.m.
Everyone have a great rest of the evening
Yes.
and have a great rest of the night.
Stay cool.